My name is Edgar.
And this is Kardia.
And this is Mystcon. For tonight's episode, we are doing part 2 of the facts you probably didn't know about the movie Halloween.
And we're going to have a little conversation about them. Some songs can be heard in the film, one being an untitled song performed by Carpenter and a group of his friends who formed a band called the Coupe de Ville. The song is heard as Laurie, the main character, steps into Annie's car on her way to babysit Tommy Doyle.
That is kind of neat. I can't, I'm trying to picture this guy with a little garage band,
Guys, we got the song.
Oh, man.
So, wait, did they make the song and then say, hey, this will be a good song for the film? I'm assuming that's how that went.
No, he from what we were reading before, he was just in charge of all these things. They're like, here's $10,000. We need you to write it, direct it, find the music for it, And he was on his way, so he's probably just figured, hey, guys.
I wonder how much money he gave his friends. Like, here's $100. Let's record this. And they're kicking themselves, like, we should have asked for a percentage. So in 1978, the film grossed $47 million in the U.S.
Wow.
And additionally, $23 million internationally. So it made $70 million, and obviously was the most successful independent film of all time. I guess that's why they put it in 2006 in that place.
It took them a while to find out.
Yeah, 70 million, all right.
Yeah, one of the most successful independent films of all time. That's very interesting.
So $10,000 plus $7 million.
You get
because
good,
that 10%.
I think perhaps people's tastes have gotten so saturated with expecting so much quality, they would overlook stuff like that. I mean, because this was just a small kind of thing, and a couple of guys came up with a neat story, and they went and filmed it. And, it's not like top quality writing or
explosions, special effects.
But they had a good time, and it exploded.
There's a huge difference when a film becomes cultural as opposed to. It doesn't. Sometimes acting. Not that I'm saying the acting is bad in the film. I'm saying, but sometimes acting doesn't matter. Budget doesn't matter. Nothing else matters, and it will just gross randomly. 70 million. Wow.
Yeah. So here there was a they actually made an update to the movie because they put it on TV. So in 1980, the television rights to Halloween were bought by NBC. Let's see, for $3 million. So Carpenter, the creative person, obviously had some trouble with NBC and what they wanted to censor. So after they sorted all that out, it aired in October of 1981. To include in the 2-hour time slot, Carpenter filmed 12 more minutes of additional footage while they were filming Halloween 2. The newly filmed scenes had some stuff with Dr. Loomis at the hospital board review. Finally, there was also a scene added where Linda comes over to Laurie's house to borrow a silk blouse before Laurie leaves to babysit, just as Annie telephones asking to borrow the same blouse. So, yeah, it was during that scene that Laurie's hair was hidden by a towel, since at that point, Jamie Lee Curtis's hair was shorter, much shorter, than she wore in the original filming.
Which was in 1978, right? So this was 2 years later, so obviously her hair looked different. They had to throw it up in a towel. But about the censoring, I think it was Psycho, which was where the Alfred Hitchcock inspiration thing. But I think it was Psycho where the censors would not allow to show a toilet flushing, so they had to remove that from the movie Psycho. I'd have to look that up again, but I recall that, and I just thought that was so fascinating. Apparently that was a big thing. Okay. So, woman getting murdered in the shower, completely cool. Toilet flushing, we're going to have to remove that. Forget that. It's horrible. Since Halloween's premiere, it has been released in several home video formats. So, the release became a collector's item, with one copy from 1979 selling on eBay for $13,220 in 2013.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Can you imagine like putting a VHS, some old VHS tape up on eBay, and you're like, bam, $13,000 in my PayPal.
I know we don't have a lot of subscribers, but I'm pretty sure that all of our subscribers will be like, okay, I gotta go in my attic and check if I have a copy of this.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Lost footage uncovered. There was a magazine called Fangoria, and in August of 2006, they reported that somebody found a bunch of negatives from the original filming of Halloween. Unfortunately, none of the footage has sound. But they still call this the holy grail of horror films. I'm not really sure what was on that, though I haven't seen it.
I'd like to see that. I wish they would add it to like a Netflix series on like Halloween extra footage.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Maybe it's at the end of the DVD special features or something.
So Halloween was nominated for the Saturn Award for Best Horror Film by the Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films in 1979, but it actually lost to The Wicker Man, which I've never heard of, and it was a film from 1973.
Yeah, dang. 1973 was, it's from like so many years earlier, and it still trumped them. I'm also kind of interested in this Academy of Science Fiction, Fantasy, and Horror Films. So, like, is that a college or like what? I'm
gonna guess it's an academy.
Oh, yeah. It does appear. That sounds like a cool place to hang. It sounds like
you could spend a whole weekend there, definitely.
One of the lessons that I feel like I learned over and over again from slasher movies when I was young was that if you have premarital sex, you will be killed. Any of the characters who didn't live to be the ones who survived, usually in the end. And so obviously I'm not the first person to think of this. And some people seem to think that Halloween was following this suit as well, and trying to spread that message. So it's often cited as an allegory on the virtue of sexual purity. But John Carpenter said that wasn't what he intended at all. Here's what he had to say. It has been suggested that I was making some kind of moral statement. Believe me, I'm not. In Halloween, I viewed the characters simply as normal teenagers. Well, so there you have it. It's coincidentally they are going to be having sex, and coincidentally they're also getting killed.
That happened in a lot of films. Also,
coincidence.
Also, if there was like some other films that go to make out and some lover's edge point, whatever, they'd get killed or somebody would get killed.
Well, that's where the werewolves hang out, at the lover's point.
I got to teach lessons that way. I don't know. Well, there was obviously differences between the novel and the actual film, and they contradict the original source material, which is the film, right? Yeah. So, in the novel version, Michael speaks during his time in the sanitarium. In the film, though, Dr. Loomis, which is Michael's doctor in the film, he said he hasn't spoken a word in 15 years. So there's a lot of differences between novels and films.
And I wonder I'm kind of curious I didn't read the novelization of the film, but I wonder what he's saying. I'm kind of curious what young Michael is talking about. But yeah, I guess he talked in the book, but not in the film.
If anybody knows, like, if everybody's read the book...
Yeah, put some quotes down below.
Put some quotes down below. I'd love to know if Michael did speak in the novel, what did he actually say? Or did the doctor just say, oh, he speaks once in a while, and there's no actual quotes? I'd love to know that.
Okay, this is awesome. So in 1983, they made a video game, a Halloween video game. This was for the Atari 2600, and I can tell you I have seen this. I have seen clips of this. I think you did too, and it was hilarious. It's a really great game, but also pretty hilarious. You are playing a babysitter, and you're running around from floor to floor trying to grab these little children. You're like babysitting hundreds of children. They're just infinite, endless children everywhere. And you have to go and grab them all and bring them to a safe room, which looks just like any other room. But yeah, and then every once in a while, Michael Myers comes out with his knife, and he's just swinging his knife, and he's got his mask, and if he stabs you, he pops your head off, and you kind of spew blood, Atari 2600 blood. Actually, it's pretty gory.
Watching that video of that girl run around with her head cut off and the blood splurting, that was just...
Yeah. And
it's funny.
With 4-bit graphics, or 2-bit, whatever.
2-bit graphics, yeah.
Atari
Going across the screen like a chicken without a head. We'll put the link down below for you guys on like a YouTube video just showing a gameplay of this. Unless you have it, go play it again.
It's worth a look.
Found it amusing. But a lot of the people I remember in the YouTube video that we watched were talking about after a while of playing this game, the object of the game didn't become, making sure the kids were safe. The object of the game was trying to get your head cut off so you could watch the girl run around the screen with her head cut off and blood splurting.
Yeah. That is pretty
Violence
gory.
in video games. That was early. Okay. On July 19th, 2019, it was announced that there was going to be 2 direct sequels, and one of them would be Halloween Kills on October 16th, 2020, and the second one is going to be called Halloween Ends, and that will be released October 15th, 2021. That's interesting.
Yeah, and if you read it, if you just say it as a sentence, Halloween Kills on October 16th, Halloween Ends on October 15th, 2021. Because they're like, well, is that going to be the last one forever? It sounds so funny.
It's not going to be the last one forever. I wonder, is he directing it? Is Carpenter directing them?
I do not know.
I'd love to know
I
that.
hope so.
Yeah.
It seems only proper.
I would assume so.
All right, that is the end of our super awesome facts you probably didn't know about Halloween. And I hope you enjoyed this. I really enjoyed doing the research, and I learned a lot that I didn't already know.
And I really enjoyed all the facts that, especially some of the facts that just seemed so weird, like $10,000 and things like that, and then 70 million. Wow. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed this and you had fun and you enjoyed part 2, make sure to check out part 1. Subscribe, like, comment below. We'd love for you guys to share this on Twitter, on Facebook, anywhere. We'd love to get some more subscribers. We're trying to reach a goal. And, Edgar?
Right. Well, that's it for us. My name is Edgar.
And this is Kardia.
And this is Mystcon. Have a creepy day.